Buying the right home in the wrong neighborhood can be disastrous. Your home's location affects your lifestyle, your safety, your resale value, and your general peace of mind for you and your family. In this video, we're gonna walk through things to look at in a neighborhood and how to research them before you buy that house, so you don't just end up buying a great house, but you also end up in a great neighborhood to live. I'm AJ Taylor from the Finnigan Taylor team. I'm a top 1% realtor up here in the North Dallas area, and we make these videos for you. We do all this for you, so you don't have to go out and do the work and do the research. We're here doing it for you. We've helped hundreds of families just like you move across the country, across the world, or just across the street. So if you're thinking about buying, selling a home anywhere in DFW, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We are here to help. All right, let's get right into today's video. It's easy for me to find you a perfect house. You know, your dream home. I could find it for you real quick, but is it in a neighborhood that is going to be what you're looking for you and your family, right? That is so important. What we like to do here is say, let's first look at the area and the neighborhood. What are you looking for? Do you have kids? Are you looking for a planned community? Are you looking for pools? Are you looking for schools? What are those things that you're looking for? And then we can go figure out what town, what city, and then what community and what neighborhood and even what street to live on. Because like I said, you could find your dream home, but if it's in a neighborhood that's no good, it's got high crime rate or bad schools, well, it might not be a place that you want to live. So it's so important that we research these neighborhoods. All right, our first reason is something that most of my clients say, probably their number one thing, is the safety. What's the crime like in the area and how safe is the area? So in general, you're gonna kind of know right off the bat if it's a good area or a bad area, but when we wanna get real specific, there's a great website that I use all the time. It's called SpotCrime.com. You can go on this website, you can search that town, and you're gonna get a couple of different symbols that are gonna come up. And it'll tell you if there was an arrest made, if there was an assault, if there was a shooting. So if you test this, you can kind of go to a high crime rate neighborhood, pull up that map, and you'll see a bunch of shootings. Well, nobody wants to live in an area with a bunch of shootings. If you come up, let's say, into the Prosper area and search, you're gonna have a hard time finding anything of crime related. You're definitely not gonna see shootings and stuff like that. You will see like an assault, or if you see the handcuff symbol, you can tap on that symbol and you can actually dive into what the arrest was made for and everything about what happened. So if it's like a driving under the influence or a domestic dispute or, you know, a little theft, or that is not a huge deal, right? That's like, that happens in the safest neighborhoods in the world. What we're looking for are shootings, strong arm robberies, like violent crimes. So use that website to kind of gauge the area and click on those things and see what's really happening here. So you get a really good understanding of the area. Super important to do that. We need to find a safe area for you and your family first before we start looking for our dream home. Okay, next on the list is also one of the top questions, which is schools. Big topic, especially for families, is the schools. So a great website for that is GreatSchools.org. I use this all the time. Look at a general rating of the schools specifically and a rating of the district in itself. Now you kind of need to dig into these stats because they are based on how much diversity is there, or is the sports program really good? Let's say a school is high scores in scholastics, academic, testing scores, but they're super low in sports and activities. If you're trying to go to that school because you have a kid that is very athletic, trying to get into college to do sports, maybe you want to kind of find a school that has a much better sports program than scholastics. Or maybe it's vice versa. Maybe your kids don't play sports and you're really interested in test scores, college, preparedness. Those things might matter more to you. So dig into those scores on greatschools.org and see what criteria is fitting for what you're looking for. But in general, you'll be able to get on there and get a score Like anything of a 7 out of 10 or above is amazing. Do just remember that some of these schools are brand new and they don't have a bunch of history and stats to back up. So you could have a low score because of just the newness of the school. It might not be reflective of the school. Call the school district, feel it out, call the administrator, talk to the front desk, ask some questions. Call me and say, hey, we're looking in Prosper ISD, but we noticed that this school has a lower rating than this school. Like, what's the reason for that? And then I can really guide you in on the nuances of the different schools that are within the district. Because once again, the district might be really good, but what about if you're zoned for a school that has a low score? Also, look into where they're building new schools and where the rezoning maps might happen, because you don't want your kid to get into school and established and all their friends, then all of a sudden a new school opens and now you're rezoned. So we do see that happening in these growing towns. So important to look at what school you're going to be in, what schools are being built that could potentially be rezoned for, and also the scores of those specific schools. Okay, next thing to look for when you're looking at neighborhoods is the commute times and proximity to normal everyday things and or business and airport. So when you go to research the neighborhood, get onto Google Maps or even Google Earth, which can be a little more detailed, and see what's out there as far as grocery stores, restaurants, hospitals, emergency rooms, even schools, things like that, okay? The airport, wherever you might be commuting to for your business. And then I would recommend to put in on your directions, what if I leave at 10 a.m. to go to the airport? Well, you can set that on Google Maps. Like, I want to set this trip at this time. Look at the different times of day. Look at traffic time. Look at non-traffic time. Look where the grocery store is. How close is it to get there? Is it golf cartable? Can I drive a golf cart there? Can I walk to restaurants? You know, do I have to drive 20 minutes just to go get some milk? So very, very important, the proximity of everyday stuff that you need. And while we're discussing all of these items, they all play also not into just your lifestyle and what's gonna make you happy with you and your family, but also the resale of this property, because people are gonna research the same thing when they're coming to buy your house. So you wanna make sure that you're not only getting the house that you love, but you're getting into a neighborhood that you love, because the chances are the person that's gonna buy your house in 5 to 7 years is probably gonna love those things as well. Okay, next thing to look at when you are researching a neighborhood is future development and zoning laws. This is super important, and I think that this gets overlooked a lot. And especially up here in North Dallas, where there's so much growth and roads are changing every day and different developments are happening, you're gonna wanna know, hey, what's happening over there in that field next to me? Well, is it a huge multifamily or apartment complex? You might not want that next to you. Is it high-end shopping, whining, and dining? That might be really cool to be able to walk to. So get on the town websites, research what is happening in that local area, any kind of zoning that might be changing, like changing something from residential to commercial. That could be a huge bad thing for you. You know, if you're right now next to commercial and you thought it was gonna be residential and now it's turned into retail. So you also don't want to be next to some major development that's gonna be, 5 years of building next to you. So be sure to research. And by the way, we have all that information here on the Finnigan Taylor team. We've got maps, we've got different zoning things for you. We've got all sorts of documents prepared to let you know what's happening in the areas that you're looking in, because we want you to be prepared. We don't want you to move in and then realize next year they're building some monstrosity apartment building right behind your house that's looking into your windows, right? So we have to be real careful about rezoning and future development. Now, this could also be a major, major plus. For example, the Fields in Frisco. You probably want to buy a house in the Fields right now because the Fields West development is going to be ready to shop, wine, and dine in the fall of 2027. Well, what does that mean? That means right now the prices in the Fields are cheaper because the stores are not there yet. Once those stores are there and you want to go buy a house in that community, you can guarantee that that house is going to be more expensive. The demand's going to be higher because people are saying, great, I get to move in and the next day I get to walk or ride my bike down to shopping, whining, and dining. Well, that's going to make a huge difference when you sell your house in 5 to 7 years. So maybe we should rethink that. So we're here to help you through that process. Okay, one of the last things that we do like to research when we're looking at a neighborhood is the general vibe and fit of the community. Is this neighborhood the right fit for you, right? I mean, if you don't have kids and you're moving into an area that is predominantly kids and little kids running around the street, you might not want that, and vice versa. So really important to know what the vibe is. Okay, how do I research the vibe, AJ? Like, what do you want me to do? Just stand around? Kind of. I mean, so here's what we recommend. Now you gotta do this without being creepy, right? But I do suggest to my clients, drive by the schools, park a good distance away so you don't like alert the police like there's some weirdo looking at my kids, but look at the kids getting dismissed. Look at the cars people are driving. Look at the parents, look at the kids, look how they're playing, look how they're interacting, look at the playground. Get a vibe for what that school feels like. And if you think that that's gonna be a good fit for you and your family, and if your kids are gonna be able to blend and make friends in that school, that's really, really important. Once again, don't be creepy, right? Don't go stand out there like a creeper. Just, casually look at the schools. Okay, also look at the neighborhood on different days and different times. So you're gonna drive by on a Wednesday at 2 p.m. It's gonna look way different than Saturday at 7 p.m. So we encourage our clients to drive through these neighborhoods different times of the day, different days of the week. Now listen, this sounds like a lot of work, and it is, but this is so important. It's one of the biggest investments in your life for you and your family. So we're here to do most of the research for you. But it's really important that you figure out that this is exactly what you want for your family. So I'd say drive by there. Are people out in the street partying? Is there people in the driveways hanging out? Is it super quiet and there's nobody out on the streets? There's no one playing in the streets, there's no kids? Well, that might not be what you're looking for. Or maybe you go through there at night and you go, man, this is really dark. There's not a lot of street lamps. None of the houses are lit. This just doesn't feel right. Neighborhoods change different days, different times of the day. So without being creepy, go through these neighborhoods, feel the vibe. If you can, I also recommend, if the time frame fits up, go during the summer. My family and I, we relocated here to Texas, to Windsong Ranch. We came here many different times of the day. We were able to come here during the summer, so we were able to get a real vibe of the community. And kids running around in the streets and, people in their driveways hanging out with the chairs. And so super, super important to feel that vibe, because what you don't want to do is move in, you find that perfect house and you go, oh, well, we don't have any friends, or no one's out hanging out on the street, or whatever you might be looking for. Super important. Don't be creepy. Just go through and check out the vibes. Okay, like I said, guys, we're here to do most of that research for you. And we know this North Dallas area like the back of our hand. So any questions you have, we can answer them. And also, if you like these videos, be sure to subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, hit that like button, share it with your friends. Help me help other people view the content, because we do this to help you make the best decision for you and your family. Okay, so just a recap. The major things to look for are the crime in the neighborhood or the safety, the schools or education opportunities in the area, your commute time to important stores like grocery stores, medical facilities, airports, or occupation, the future development or growth of the area, either good or bad for the neighborhood that you're looking at, and lastly, the overall vibe and the neighborhood fit for you. All these things, very, very important to research. And here's the thing, I promise you, if you do some research on these things, you're gonna find tons of great neighborhoods up in the North Dallas area, all around DFW. And I promise you, we will find you the perfect home in the perfect neighborhood, because that's what we're here to do. Always feel free, give a call, shoot a text, send an email. We're here to help on the Finnigan Taylor team. I'm AJ Taylor. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll catch you on the next one.